Hello everyone, I'm Professor Comics. Welcome to Unknown Comic Stories. Now today we are talking about the first ever comic book company. Not the first ever comic book company, but the first ever one we're talking about on this channel. Basically, we decided that we need to describe how companies came to be so that you can know about some unknown companies that you might have never thought existed. Our first ever company that we are going to be talking about is X-Files. Now, when we talk about companies, we're probably not going to be talking about DC or Marvel, though we might be talking about extensions of those companies. And we've never really talked about a company on here, so here's how this is going to work. When we go over to the voiceover section, you guys will basically hear about the creation of the company and also where it is now. Some of these companies may not exist anymore, so keep that in mind. Though you can definitely find the comics. I have a couple of my own, which I will show pictures of. Without any more further ado, let's jump into the story with our voiceover Professor Comics.
The X-Files was a spin-off of a TV series of the same name, which was a show where they had basically a criminal investigation similar to things like Law and Order and Criminal Minds and all of that stuff. This series was taken over by a company called Toppscomics, starting around 1995, and had 41 issues to start. The plan was that the episodes would be the blueprint for each of the comics, and they would just basically base the comic off of each of the episodes. However, the company started to fall because the actual X-Files company, the one that was making the TV show, was very specific and wanted to make sure everything was going well in the company. This caused DC to take over in 2008 and create a new 6-part series which got very positive reviews. But where is the company now? Well, if you go to 2015, they were able to release a new 8-part series, and in 2016 they re-released the old comic books. However, with the cancellation of the TV show back in 2017, there hasn't been any new comics since, and there have been no future plans stated about whether the company will rise again. So it does seem like X-Files has gone back into obscurity. I myself only have a couple of these comics, which you can see in the pictures here. But now, let's get back to the real-life Professor Comics.
And that, my friends, is the end of this particular story. We can now close the book on the X-Files. Of course, if you want to learn more, there are links in the description of what I researched, and you, of course, can look up for yourself across the interwebs or get yourself a comic book from the X-Files. Of course, if you liked this video and want to see more, just subscribe, click the like button. It would help our stories grow to a wider audience so that more people can indeed see these wonderful comic book stories. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, which will be November, we're going to take yet another long break on this channel because it's easier on this channel to take longer breaks since it's such a new channel. And we also have a lot of skits coming, so stay tuned for those, as well as possible D&D things. I know it's been a while since you've seen those, so don't worry, they are coming. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!